guys, just warming up here again, waiting for people to show up. If you're on the replay, you can probably skip ahead 5 or 6 minutes. But I'm just hanging tight here, waiting for people to show up. Drop me a comment if you're online, if you can hear me, if everything's cool, or if there's a problem, let me know as well. Make sure to be wearing headphones if you don't have great monitors. What you might want to listen to in this is kind of what we're going to go through in this video. This version of the song. This is day 4 of 5. So it's getting there. What I'm noticing a lot of detail in is the hi-hats. There's several different hi-hat layers, so we'll probably get into that as well. So we'll probably kick off in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to drink my yerba mate, just chill out. And for those of you that are completely new to me, there are replays for the previous episodes of this. Tomorrow is going to be the final episode. If you don't know me, I run musicsoftwaretraining.com, and I'm also the author of the best-selling book, The Mental Game of Electronic Music Production. So a lot of people come to me from either seeing me on YouTube, or they come to me because they've read my book. And my goal here is just to show you a realistic approach to how I finished my first #1 release. And you know, I didn't set out for it to be like some #1 release, and it wasn't like #1 across the board on Beatport. It was #1 in the category that it was, the minimal techno category. But yeah, it ended up being my first of 4 #1s in this style of music. So this song is still going to transform, and you'll notice a little bit more of that in tomorrow's training. But we're going to kick this off. I'm going to actually stop this. And if you can see and hear me, obviously just let me know in the chat. I want to make sure the chat works as well. I'll be answering the questions through that. So if you haven't done this with me before, essentially what I've got are 4 about hour-long videos where I just do a whole over-the-shoulder of me going from a student of mine's 8-bar loop, and the whole training was just to show how I would take that song they were having trouble finishing and how I would finish it. It just ended up being a good enough track to release, and then we released it with a couple more tracks. We worked on a couple more tracks together, and yeah, went on to hitting #1, which is great. It was the first #1 for both of us. So yeah, it's 10 o'clock. It looks like we've got a few people here. Let's see what we got here. We got Dinfluence 30, and we got Jake's back. Jake, hope you're doing good. I'm a little bummed today. An Irish singer just died. I don't know if any of you have heard of a band called the Pogues, but if you haven't heard the Pogues, listen to Fairy Tale in New York. It's probably one of the best Christmas songs ever. It's great. But yeah, I just heard today that the singer died. So a little bummed about that, but that's a whole different genre of music from the past. And we're diving into this sort of stuff, which is kind of like a minimal, deep techie sort of vibe. But the whole goal of this is not to show you a certain style, but to just show you, one, that songs that become big all have the same humble beginnings. And sometimes watching this can make you a little bit uncomfortable because there's not all kinds of crazy bells and whistles going on. A lot of times you're listening over and over and fine tuning and trying to figure out what goes next. And that's totally okay. And I think there's so many coaches out there that don't show the parts that can be a little bit tedious or boring. But even in those are the details of the things that actually make a song great. And it really comes down to being really good at listening and understanding a start to finish process. So you kind of know where you're at in the song, even if you don't know exactly where the song's going. So anyway, with that, I'll turn this off here. I'll turn this off here and turn that off there. I'll minimize myself and I'll go ahead and drag in the video for today. So hang tight just a sec.
All right, we're back for episode 4 of creating a song from an 8-bar loop. And let's catch up with where we left off, and then I'll let you know some of the ideas that I've come to or whatever, and we'll go from there. All right, so that's where we're at so far. I still feel like this bass is coming in too abrupt, so I want to work on that. So let's kind of get into that to start. So I'm going to start with an EQ, see if I can back off some of this. Some of the upper frequencies, make it a little warmer. very punchy. So let me add a little FM synthesis here. I'll get rid of some of this low. Now we're getting closer. And I'll introduce this over here. Maybe the sub can use a little bit of that same grit as well. A little bit more on the deep end here. I feel like I should be opening up the envelope here. So let's give this a shot. What are we on here? All right. Let's just give that a shot and see if that improves anything. Dip it down again. Okay, so this seems to be carrying on way too long. So let's see what we got here. We got this, we got this. Seems kind of like an odd timing too, which isn't necessarily bad, but I'm gonna just remove this here. That gets rid of all that, shortens the song a bit. What's going on with that kick there? Sounds a little... It's all right. I think I'm just going to boost that kick up just a tad. Let me take a look at how close we are. Good, we've got a little bit of room to wiggle here. So let's bring that kick up just about 3 dB. Let's see what we got here, see if it sounds any better. That sounds much better to me. And let's do a little copy and paste here. And let's get a nice little build pattern. Simple but effective, so let's take a look at, let's see. Get another long break here, which I don't know is totally necessary. Yeah. 8 bars there, 4 bars, 16 bars. Let's do this. Keep this pretty easy. We'll make this into a 8 bar here. What I'm going to do, so I think I'll drag in a Max for Live instrument. And first I'm going to set the depth all the way straight, set the rate to nothing, so it's just flat. I want to see where this lands, but I'm basically going to automate this so it kind of opens and closes, so it introduces some dynamics later in the song. So we want to map this to our frequency, remembering that it's right around 500 Hertz as the base. We'll set this till we get right around that base. What's going to happen is this is going to make 500 hertz kind of a middle ground, and it's going to kind of move out and in from there. So that's where we put in our depth. And then we kind of put a rate in there. Now, as you can see, it's kind of moving back and forth. And I see that it's kind of going pretty low. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, so I might reset the offset a little bit higher, but we'll see kind of what we have. Yeah, I'm liking that. So I'm going to open it up just a little bit by setting the offset up. So it kind of opens up a bit more. And then what I'll do is I'm going to extend the depth a bit more. Oop. How far do we want to go? And the rate might be going a little bit too fast for my tastes. So let me back that off about here, and let's see what we got. Play this along with the kick because we have a sidechain compressor working off that kick, so I kind of want to hear how that is sounding. I'm going to make this just a little bit more subtle by turning the threshold up a bit. And I think I'm going to set the offset up just a little bit more as well. And okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll just automate this offset as a way to kind of keep things a little lower in the beginning and bringing it up. So that'll bring that down to that range. So let's see what we've got now. This section right here, I'll bring up just a little bit more. Since it's kind of a break. And I think I'll sink this down a little bit more. So basically just kind of automate this offset. Still sounds, the bass still sounds like a little, not very tight to me. And I don't know if it's EQ or compression, what really needs to happen to make that really work. So I'm going to give it a listen here by itself. start by removing some of the low. Okay, that sounds a little bit better there. Because it removes some of that mud. Let me turn this wet dry up to 100% and see if we get a bit more bite here. Right in there, so pull some out. Don't want to overdo it. Just a little bit of a dip here. At least better. Turn the LFO back on. Gonna back this off. Alright, I'll try one other thing here that sometimes does the trick. And that is transpose all this up an octave. And we'll put it on Complex Pro. And then we'll see if we can get a little bit more clarity by mixing that into our mix. So maybe what I need is a gate. And hopefully I don't ruin things here. I don't think I will. But let's turn off that layer. I think that's the trick right there. All right. And then maybe on this other deal here, I'll make an even stronger one just so that we get the click here out of it. And actually, I'm going to double that. No, that's fine. And let's add a strong compression here. It's going to sound crappy until I dial it in, but that's kind of the process here. All right, mix it all together here. Cool. Then I'll just put a little bit of grit, the saturator. We should be good. I'm going to cut this out too. I just want to get rid of all the BS in the song. I don't want things to go too long. I could bring the space down just a little bit as well. Thinking about maybe changing the placement here of this hat. I like that a little better. Seems to go with the rhythm a little bit more. So I'll just replace that here. And I'll turn it down a little bit here. All right, that cleans up nice. So we can kind of use that in and out through the song. All right, so we've got this kind of gallop rhythm. We could simplify this in some places. So let's grab a little section here. I'll change the color. There we go. Loop that section so we know kind of where we're working. All right, let me change the color there. Cool. So that's kind of a simplification of the rhythm that I could use. I'm going to put this hi-hat down with the others. And let's see how we can kind of cut this up. There we go. let's cut this action in half here. So we're going to do a little stereo spread here. See how that transition works. Cool. So we've got a lot of more interesting rhythms happening. Um, and I'll continue to kind of dive through some of this stuff. And just that way, kind of keeping things happening. Now, I haven't really started working on the transitions and the effects sounds and things that are going to kind of make things sound cohesive. So everything sounds kind of blocky. You know, everything's going block by block. But we will definitely improve that portion of the song as we go. Cool. And I'm going to cut this off here. Okay. Cool.
And there we go. That is the end of part 4. I know I didn't do much speaking. And actually in the next video, I don't do a whole lot of speaking either because I'm really trying to get my head into it. I'm going to drop in the links, in the comments, the name of the track so that you can listen to the final version as well. So you kind of know where we're heading. Let's see. And you can look this up on Spotify or whatever. Pop that in. Yeah, just look up Jason Timothy Diesmore, or you could look up Marina Caramarco. It's from the EP called State Your Presence. So that is it. If anyone's here that has any questions, feel free to drop them in. I'll hang tight for a few minutes, just waiting to see if there's any questions that come in. And if not, we'll kick off again tomorrow. I'm going to tell you guys, this is really healthy stuff. If you are not into yerba mate or haven't tried it, it tastes awesome. Way better for you than green tea even. So I've been trying to get back into this. I've been drinking mushroom coffee for a few months and that's been pretty good, but I know that this is probably just as healthy, if not more healthy. So anyway, looks like no one has any questions, so I'm gonna sign off. Have a great one. I hope that just watching the process helps inspire you. Everything moves incrementally. So a lot of times it seems like something's not happening in your song, but these little details start coming together, and at some point all the dots start to connect. And that's kind of what I want to show you, is that there's not really this magic that happens. The magic happens just by incrementally bringing it forward. It's not like there's some special trick that makes songs that are average into amazing songs. There are some techniques, don't get me wrong, but it's really about just pushing forward and understanding the process. Isaac asked, would you add some analog instruments? This track, I don't think that I did. I do have, outboard gear, like these keyboards here. I got a Microkorg. I've got a kind of a hybrid, which is hardware and software infused with the Access Virus, which is really, really powerful. I have some old school samplers that I just haven't used in a long time, but they're great. It's just not really convenient to use. And I've got some old school drum machines. If I can show you one of my favorite drum machines, but I haven't used it in a while. It's called the Revolution. There we go. Yeah, that thing's badass. But you don't need it, is the bottom line. You can do everything inside the box. You can do everything. If you have Ableton Suite, you could do everything you want with that. You could also, if you wanted to, you could do a whole song just using samples and found sounds and stuff like that. So you don't even need synthesizers for that matter. But it's whatever works for you, whatever style that you want. I'm not trying to coach people on a specific style at all. I'm just trying to show the way the thinking process works while going from kind of just a humble beginning and expanding on it, and slowly it starts coming together. With that, guys, I'm going to hit it. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.